But Damo, while we give Nathan time just to think about things, the decision. Brett Rutten has essentially been coaching that side this year. Ben Rutten has been coaching that side essentially this year. How do you give him a pass mark or a fail mark? I mean, it's very hard to know how to assess him, certainly with some of the decisions being made as to who to drop and who not.
Oh, TJ, it's a fail. It's a fail on him. It's a fail on John Worsfold. It's a fail on the club. This was a year that they promised and pledged to their supporters and the footy industry that was not going to be a wasted season. It has been a wasted season. And I know Kane's got some really strong views on this. In fact, he probably led the way with the many people opening their minds up to what was going on with Worsfold there. But I've now thought for at least 6 weeks that he shouldn't be there, John Worsfold. Once this season slipped away to the point where they were going to struggle to make finals, get the future in immediately. And I would still do that this week. You can still do that respectfully to John Worsfold, to just let him go and let Ben Rutten coach that last game of this season, which I think he really should have been doing for at least the back half of 2020.
Yeah, you're right, Damo. And the language changed, I think, from John Worsfold, particularly in the last couple of weeks. Now, in March, it was, we can win this premiership, and that's what he said, and that's what he put on record. 3 weeks ago, it was, we're a great side and we're going to be good very quickly. But now the language last night has changed significantly.
Yeah, I understand that Essendon people think that Essendon should be better, but they've also got to understand that the competition challenges clubs now to work to the same rules. So the same rules of the draft and the salary cap, and no one team has any more right to be successful quicker than any other team just because they're a big name club. So you've got to knuckle down and commit to doing the work. And good clubs will do that and come out of it with success.
Okay. What's he saying there? What's that mean?
Not a whole lot.
No.
Not a whole lot.
I couldn't work that out.
No. Look, the bottom line is with John Worsfold, he's only got one more game at the helm, presuming they don't sort of stage a miracle and make the actual finals. But he's, throughout his tenure at Essendon, it's quite clear in his media conferences that he doesn't take too kindly to criticism. I mean, he's taken journalists to tasks, and this week he took our very own Matthew Lloyd to task. This was on the back of Lloyd's, I've got to say, scathing criticism of the Bombers and just where they're at. So this was John Worsfold's scathing response.
I think it's just Matthew's personal opinions. He's a commentator, not a journalist, from what I understand, so don't expect him to make journalistic comments. He's just an opinion maker, and he's welcome to do that. He's not making them as an Essendon champion. He's making them as someone who has to earn his pay.
Certainly, I've never made one comment in my life about a pay packet. It's always just trying to be fair across all the board, and what I see, I go with. And he also said I don't think he's garnered much support with his comments. I've never had so many Essendon people get in touch with me to say thank you. Thank you for showing some passion, because there's no passion, there's no emotion, there's no conviction. The mixed messages, they're just at their wits' end. And for him to come out there yesterday and talk about, where we're at, we're a young team, we're this, we're that. It was just another piece of John just confusing everyone with his mixed messages. And I asked Dan Richardson on 3AW yesterday, what is the identifiable brand for Essendon? What can Essendon supporters be looking forward to? And this was the response. It's made it in the papers today. A brand of footy where we're well connected between defence and attack, playing more of the ball in our forward half, setting up well behind it, and applying good pressure around the ball. Well, Essendon are ranked 14th for time in forward half and 15th for pressure. So there's nothing that's identifiable for what they're saying they want to play. So,
But you love your club too, and you hate seeing where they are right now, don't you?
And I think the passion, there's no emotion out of Rutten, there's no emotion out of Worsfold. And I think people have liked seeing me show some passion about where I think the club wants to get to, which unfortunately no one internally is.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'm going to, right? So I just want you to give Worsfold a parting 10 seconds, straight down the barrel, in a nutshell. What do you want to say to John Worsfold?
I would say thank you for taking over at a time when the club was an absolute mess in regards to the supplement saga. But I think they probably should have ended John's term 12 months ago.
All right, Nathan's over at the Plasma.
Well spoken, Lordo. Their skill level through the middle of the ground, Essendon, is pretty ordinary at the moment, but I rate Dylan Shield. I reckon he's a great player. He's got such good attributes. He's got speed. He's got tenacity. What he does through the middle of the ground, when you see him carry the ball, I think it's great. But I want Dylan Shield to allow himself to be tackled more. I'm going to compare him to Scott Pendlebury in a minute, but Dylan Shield hurries the ball onto his foot too often for me. I think he can be Essendon's number one midfielder next year. If I'm coach, I'm saying, Dylan, allow yourself to be tackled. I want you to hold onto the ball for longer, allow yourself to get out of trouble, watch the game go past you, then make a decision. Have a look at some of the Dylan Shield highlights I've got here, and he rushes the footy onto his boot too quickly. I think if he holds onto it more, allows himself to possibly get tackled, he sees a lot of these players around him that he could give to. Then he becomes a more damaging player. At the moment, it's get it on the boot as quick as I possibly can, get it out of my area. This one goes to a teammate, but that's just luck. That's just luck. So these are some of his highlights that I think, just take the ball, take the heat, maybe you get your hands out, maybe you can run away. Now I think he should go back, and if I was his coach, and obviously I'm not, but I'd be showing him highlights of Scott Pendlebury. Now, what Scott Pendlebury does is amazing. He holds onto the football. He makes the tackle up, make a decision. Now, I'm not saying Dylan Shield has the ability in traffic that Scott Pendlebury, but if he can do a little bit of this, I think he creates something out of his game that he doesn't have at the moment. A bit of poise, a bit of time, and some real class to get himself out of trouble, then bring his teammates into the game. I think he's a wonderful player, Dylan Shield. I think he's got a massive upside.